Hi everybody, this is going to be a video series of me playing Blitz 200 on PokerKing, the Zoom format. Mainly in this series I want you to show what the site looks like and what the upsides of playing in PokerKing are. So the main thing is that US players are allowed, which makes the traffic to be very decent all across the board, especially for small stakes, where you can find a lot of recreational players. And I think having crypto deposits methods available makes very attractive for this type of players to come and join the site. So for us professional players, or for you as aspiring professional players, or people who like to make a buck on the site, is a very important thing, to have all this recreational traffic flowing into the site. Then on the other hand, we have a few different formats available. Some people like to play this Blitz type of format. You have NL5, NL10, NL50, NL200 running around the clock pretty much. So for those who really enjoy this format, just to let you know that there are games available 24/7 pretty much. And then you have the regular tables format, which I personally prefer, and you can achieve higher win rates in there. So the VIP system is pretty good as well. You have a very nice return to the rake that you pay as a player in the site, and down below you can get a very nice extra rakeback deal, which makes the whole experience for playing in PokerKing just great. I mean, I strongly recommend this site, and let's check it out together through this video series. So let's jump into a session. Hi everybody, let's play a PokerKing session. I have just started a new session. Just play the recording button and let's focus on the action. Right, small blind. I think we can bet small here as well as on the left one. I don't think we have 3 streets of value. We have to still bet thin for value. I think betting small is the way to go. You just need to make sure you are betting small with your nuts sometimes, so you are protected. If you need to, if your player is you don't respect this game enough, you just bet what your hands wants most of the time. Now I bet a 10th because he's gonna be able to turn like 9 jack, 10 jack, 10a, 9a with the spade into a bluff. So I'm inducing a little bit of action. There you go. Sixes without non-recreational player. I'm gonna skip it versus under the gun. This is a very nice game. It is very fast-paced game. You have NL10 games available for fast. Let me check. NL50 as well. Sometimes NL100, sometimes NL1K. But it's the NL10, NL5, NL10. I think NL50, NL200, the games that run the most on Blitz in PokerKing. So we defended both tables deuces, and here we have plenty of draws, deuces without the Diamond is not gonna continue all that often, so I think versus cutoff we can safely fold and not be over folding. You can call it just a tiny fraction of the time, no problem whatsoever. So on a jack deuce, I think this guy doesn't delay too much, so we're gonna be just betting a regular size, neutral size. Yeah, I think he has too much air, but he's not putting too much money with his air on the delay line, so yeah, we are better off betting ourselves for sure. Right. This is a very interesting one. We're gonna be calling most of the time versus this guy, and yeah, we can. I don't feel comfortable folding, to be honest. I think racing on such a dry board is the way to go, especially when the guy is betting small with a very wide range. Now we have a future blocker, and this guy just folds way too much on this line versus the turn. I think potting is gonna be enough to make him fold some static pairs. And by the river, I think we have some bluffing opportunities on a 10, on a queen. The king would give us a little bit of showdown value, a heart. There you go. That's the beautiful thing about knowing the mechanics of every single spot, and then if you find some weaknesses on the player or the pool, you just deviate and do whatever, you know, the leaks tell you to do. But you need to know how to really exploit those leaks. But it's funny because when you play very small stakes, of course, a good understanding of GTO is extremely important, but at the same time it's kind of a waste of time because there are so many exploits and leaks that learning exploitative style from the get-go would lead you to a high win rate, but at the same time you're lacking the fundamentals. So best approach would be a place where they teach you the GTO basic simplified stuff and focus on exploiting, and as you move up and reach your GTO understanding of the game as well as the exploitative side of it. Yeah, I mean, poker is such a beautiful game, isn't it? There are so many ways to get to reach your goals. There are many valid ways to do it. You just need to have a plan and stick to it. I mean, ace king is a flat sometimes versus IP, so let's go. And king 9 is a mix. We're gonna be checking here, and this guy, okay. Alright, so on the king I expect him to delay quite a bit, so we're gonna be check calling, check raising. He didn't, and we're gonna go for the overbet, pretending to put pressure on the ace highs. Let's see if that works out. There is a slight value versus very good players not to see my hand at this point, so folding gives me a little bit of EV as well if he folds. If he calls, I'm happy. If he folds, I'm happy too. There you go. That's what I expected from him. Alright, very easy defend with ace king, 2 overcards. Now we need to think whether we want to bluff. We're beating ace jack, ace 10, ace highs, so I think that's enough. He has the offsuit version of it, so yeah. Right, the king 9 on a 10 7-4 rainbow. There's ton, I think we safely fold here. Too many too many draws. We have some good turns on the checking line, and yeah, we can call and then do something on the river, or we can just start racing here now. I like racing. Right at this point I'm bluffing some rivers, especially static rivers, because we're wrapping 10A, 7A type of hands, 8-8, and I think there are many players who, you know, prop turn way too often because the pool has the leak of overfolding, but yeah, we take advantage of it by, you know, either calling or raising very aggressively, and that's it. 9-3, I think we're not defending. Threes is not an open. Queen 10 is an open. If it's not, if it's a mix, you can open. You can open unless you see reasons why not to. You have very loose aggressive opponents behind. Yeah. Ace 10 and we have a recreational player. We can make a case for raising, for folding and calling. I think I'm gonna fold this time. I'm calling because of the recreational, right? But I think we're better off just folding. Fold. Yeah, we're gonna be defending. I think going small here. I'm not too familiar with this spot. I think going small is the way to go. And this guy checked. Here we have king high. I think we don't prov too much. I mean, when it comes to building a proving range, it should be equity based. Yeah. So you have to be careful with some of your spews, because those could lead you to minus EV situations if you abuse them or make a slight mistake. So that's the beauty of the GTO. Again, if you know how to play it the right way, you're not gonna be making mistakes or major mistakes when if you don't see a clear exploit. You stick to the GTO game plan and you're good to go. But if you see a leak, you have to go for it. The thing also, when you play small stakes, you can max exploit your opponents because they will not be able to react properly to your exploits, and the higher you play, the more soft exploiting you have to do. Otherwise you're gonna be caught, and people are very good at adjusting because they are very competent and capable players, of course. I mean, there are way more competent players, for sure. We're gonna be 3-betting this one. 3-betting the queenies. Queenies. The queenies. Now this guy likes to 4-bet average, so this is a hand that is a mix between calling and pushing, so I'm gonna shift it to pure push versus this guy. If he calls, I'm happy. If he falls, I'm happy too. On a 9, if I want to protect my equity, I think I need to go for a bigger size, polarized range. We're gonna recharge and go for the 100 big blinds. Right, we're gonna be 3-betting the 9s. I also like to take time with my, with some hands, because some people are paying attention to tells timing. So sometimes I take my time, sometimes I don't. So I'm mixing it up. So it's up to them. Right, top set on a 3 straight with the flush draw. I think this is one of our traps, unless we have some information about our opponent that we shouldn't be trapping. We don't trap. And from my experience, people tend to stop a little bit too equity heavy, and we're gonna go for the check raise. This is a trap on GTO, but we're not trapping because the range construction that these players have is too equity oriented, and we shift our traps into we shift our traps into pure check raises, right? If we're playing competent opponents, we just do whatever we feel is best. Okay, so he's betting small again. So I have very strong bluff catcher here with backup equity, and I think he's gonna have the ace jack, ace kings all day, and he potentially could bluff some of those. And now I'm gonna go for the donk. Yeah, I think donking is best. The sizing wise, 20% is fine. If I was bluffing, I don't know. This is, GTO wizard suggested from 10 to 20% in these situations. But exploitatively, you could choose other sizes, right? Right, I'm going to reload the tables. Just a sec. Here we go. Queen A, little VPIP that leads me to open more. He has a low VPIP, means that he potentially is going to be overfolding the big blind versus small blind openings. 9-8 is the trouble hand. You gotta be careful. 9-8. It's a tricky hand to play because of the ace kings, right? When you complete stretch with the 8-9, a stretch with ace king are possible. So sometimes when the straight completes on the Broadway section, right? All right, so we get 3-bet. I think ace king, it's a call sometimes. I think we're gonna be calling this time. We have top pair, top kicker with backdoor equity, and jack 10 is a mix. We can either. All right, so now we get to polarize ourselves. This guy, I think we're gonna go for the overbet. On an ace, we get to bet quite a bit, but I think it's gonna be like more polar than anything. And now this is a tricky situation. We're gonna go for half pot in value. Right. Ace 10 is gonna be a call. 9-9 deuce, cut off, big blind. Ace 10, we have the ace queen sometimes, the ace jack sometimes. Okay, ace 10 could be there a little bit of the time on the check calling line. I don't think we check raising. Yeah, it's tricky. Tricky defend is on the cusp. Okay, I think we have a very easy fold now. I like taking my time because I would take my time if I had to think about the situation, you know. Even if I have strong hand, I would take my time. Sometimes just to make sure no one picks up on timing tells. 10-6 out of the way. And ace 10, we're gonna be opening. Right. Jack 5-7, flush draw, not the best of the boards for the small blind. I think we're doing a lot of checking here. And ace 10, GTO wise. Right, he checks back. Now, what do I think of his checks backs? I think they're weak. This guy doesn't put too much money on the delay line, so I'm gonna bet myself for thin value. I can discount a lot of jack X from his range, so it's gonna be mostly medium strength hands, which I beat. And the guy raises. Okay. What is his raising? 7-10, 5-10, jack 10. I think we can call and play some rivers. Now we are ahead of every single two pair. He had jack 10, myself. Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, it may not have jack 10 on the check back line always, right? So I assumed he would bet the jack X way too often. But it was kind of a dynamic, so he might be a little bit afraid of facing check raises. However, this is poker is about you need to make assumptions, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not. Right, I think nines is gonna be a call or a squeeze on a 37 without too much information. We're gonna be just calling this time. We're opening fives. We're opening a jack. And nines is not a mandatory defend because it's a very easy fold actually, because it's multi-way. We don't need to defend as the other players help us defend. So we can safely fold there. Five, three, very easy defend. 3 Broadway connected, very favorable for the small blind. Very easy fold. It's 3-2 regulars, we're gonna skip it. An ace-10 is a tricky hand. I think we can fold most of the time. Let's see how the other... Okay. This guy seems to be like really nitty. So we're gonna take our chances with the 9 deuce. We have backdoor equity with the heart. I don't think I wanna face a raise, and I'm gonna try to get to showdown with my top pair. Let's see what he does. He's fairly nitty, even though a fairly nitty guy would recognize this is a very easy spot to bet a lot of bluffs. Most of his bluffs got there, so he bets I'm gonna be folding. Should I turn my 9 into a bluff? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that because this guy is folding 2 pairs. He might be folding 6x, you know, might be folding a better 9. So yeah, I like that. Maybe it's a little bit of an overplay, but hey, you have the comment section down below. You know, we can discuss about the hand. Can have a conversation. Right. To be honest, 17 BPIP on the hands that I have on him, which are very little, but that's enough to make a fold. That's enough to make a fold. 5-5 is gonna be a defend, pretty much always. Alright. I think we can check a lot on 10 monotone board. And we can start betting small or big. We're gonna bet small and then bluff a lot of rivers, right? Right. 5-8 depends who we have behind. We're gonna skip it. We're gonna 3-bet the jacks. Jacks. King queen off is gonna be an open for sure. Is he open? And easy fold. We're gonna stay for 5 more minutes. As you can see, at this time games are not too great. I don't see many recreational players at this point. So yeah, I think 30 minutes video should be good enough. Right, on a 5-5 I'm blocking the best kings, so I'm gonna go for the smallish delay, and I'm gonna delay again. I don't think he has too many flush draws. I think half pot should be enough. Or if I want to get him off 8s, 9s, I don't like this too much. I think what has called me is gonna be very inclined to call me, or he has improved. Yeah. Right. Bet folding this one is not a big deal. Yeah, ace-8 on a jack 3 7 to tone is not the best combo to bet. We don't achieve much, we don't make better to fold. We call by better, we fold worse. Yeah, we don't have any substantial backdoors. Yeah, we can delay bluff it sometimes. It's okay hand to check back and fold. I don't mind it. properties of the hand in that board aren't great. Jack 9 versus a 18 BPIP guy. I'm gonna go and fold. I'd rather call 5, 6, 6, 7, you know, type of hands are way better versus needy players, because when they have ace king, they play face tap, so you can very easily bluff them of those ace king, ace queen type of hands, and then when you hit is very, and they put money into the pot, it's very obvious that they are strong, so those type of hands are very good at cracking value from our opponents, so easy peasy hands to play versus this type of opponents. We're gonna be wrapping this up. It's a very easy fold. On the Jack 5, ace 8 again. On the 77, I'm gonna bet this combo. I mean, most combos are mixed on this spot, so ace 8 on that situation can get called by worse sometimes. Some king highs, some worse ace highs. If he overfolds, welcome, thank you. If I don't know the player too much, I don't have any clear, you know, exploits, and I just randomize, right? This guy's on the aggressive side, yeah, unlucky. I'm gonna be open the king 6. All folding. And this is it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next videos. Descartes here. Bye.